Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are taking a look at House of the Dragon. This is season 2, episode 3. First time watch for all of us, and I cannot wait to dive back into this. It's been pretty insane.
Yeah, what a crazy 2 episodes of this season so far. I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to dive into the third.
Yeah, things are getting pretty convoluted. I mean, some wild twists and turns, but all the drama that we expected from this series. So can't wait to see what this episode
Come on, Otto.
is.
You got on the comeback trail.
Just a quick side note. Can we all just recognize that Sir Criston, his real individual person is not Sir Criston? You guys got to leave the guy alone
Poor
on
actor.
Instagram and on social media. The guy had to shut down his social media after the last episode. He's acting. He's acting.
Oh,
leave Sir Criston alone, sir, in real life.
All right, without further ado, then, let's go!
Folks, just wanted to take a moment to tell you how excited I am about the newest addition to my morning routine. That's Magic Mind. Now, look, I was a little skeptical of this product, being that it was green. I was a little nervous about the taste, but I gotta say, the taste really surprised me, kind of like an energy drink without the carbonation or as much sweetness. And for the last 7 days, my focus and clarity in the morning has just been, it's been terrific. It really has, because you know, normally I'm somebody who maybe has coffee all throughout the morning. I know maybe some of you are like that, where it's like you have 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. Before you know it, you know, you're up to half a dozen. Whereas with this, I have my morning cup before I go to work, and then that's it. I don't even have to think about it. I'm good and ready to go, and I'm focused on the day. So that made a big difference for me. I'm a huge believer in Magic Mind at this point, and bottoms up.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about because it says right on the bottle that it's, you know, the sweet is just so subtle that it's not overbearing. You know, you have too many energy drinks, it's like sweetness overload, right? Whereas this, you just have one with that one energy drink and you're good for the day. I mean, you'll notice, like you can attest, like I've been doing it the same 7 days as he has. It's been going just as great as him. I feel more focused, more energized, and I'm not drinking, you know, they laugh, but I'm not drinking 3 to 4 energy drinks in a day. I'm only having my one and done.
Yeah, no, for me, it's been a real game changer. I'm usually the type of person that has some coffee in the morning, whether it be 1, 2, sometimes as many as 3 cups. Later on in the day, I'm hitting the gym 5 or 6 days a week, and I like to do the pre-workouts that have a lot of caffeine in it. But there's just times where I want that boost in energy, that boost in focus, that boost in clarity that you sometimes get from those things without all the stimulants, without having to worry about the jitters and without having to worry about the crash. All natural ingredients that are going to really help with all those things. Again, without the crash, without all the caffeine. And I know these guys talk about having it in the morning. Well, I have done that, been using it about the same amount of time as them. So I will attest, have it with some morning coffee, and it really helps with that focus and clarity and energy throughout the course of the day. But I've also tried taking it a little bit later in the day. You know, the day starts wearing on, the workload gets heavy, and I still need that focus and clarity. So this is something that's been great, kind of around the clock for me. And I've just been really impressed with how big of a difference this has made to kind of my overall, again, I know I'm saying these words a lot, but energy, clarity, focus. And I should also mention, I thought looking at this bottle, is this going to taste like one of those wheatgrass shots? But look, with the results, I'd still choke it down, but I don't have to because it's got that little bit of a sweet taste to it. So it's something that I look forward to each day. But I have been really, really impressed with Magic Mind and the boost in productivity that I've been able to have with it.
And the best part about it is no crash. I've experienced 0 crash with this. So if you want some savings on some Magic Mind for yourself, use the code Bad Medicine 20 at checkout so you can save some extra cash on some Magic Mind of your own and experience 0 crash, more productivity, and hey, it says right here on the bottle, do more, stress less. So make sure you use Bad Medicine 20. It's also in the link comment and description down below. So yeah, go get yourself some.
Must be my swordsmanship.
Can you even get that thing up?
Well enough for killing Blackwoods.
Put the boundary stones back.
We didn't move them.
Oh, did they move themselves then? Just rolled their way over so Bracken cows can fill their bellies on Blackwood grass?
The Assize at River.
Fuck the Assize. And fuck you.
Well, there's that coarse language.
It's Bracken land. Babe killer.
What did you say?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Your false queen Rhaenyra is a kinslayer.
Your uncle declared for Aegon, did he? Well then, let me tell you, Aegon Targaryen is no true king, just as you are no true knight.
Ooh.
Listen.
Oh. You draw that thing, you better be ready to use it.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, what if he does? Just...
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that didn't work out too well for him.
Quite the cutscene. Oh, there's the same windmill.
Is that his sword?
Yeah.
That did not work out well for him.
That didn't work out well
what
for anybody there.
What do we have, a little time jump here? Had to. Look at all the bodies.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
When last we met, Alicent said I would make a fine queen. You've seen what has happened since then.
She came to me in the hours after your Lord Father's death. She knows war is coming. I do not believe she wants it.
She sent a raven. I do not care to read her message. What she did
It is not her, but the men around her who seek bloodshed.
She permitted it.
As you permitted the murder of a little boy in his bed.
Yeah, I forgot about that, didn't you?
Yeah. Permitted is a strong word.
Yeah, that's a broad statement to say she permitted.
Alicent is in King's Landing. Her son sits my throne. There is nothing more to be said.
Yes. Fan favorite.
Everybody's
Your
favorite.
glorious hair and your
Ah,
5 o'clock
Favorite
shave.
hand of the king.
boss is here. We better get off our ass.
Boss is here. We better actually stand guard.
Been tidings and
Oh. She's probably like, wait a minute, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You've appointed new knights to the Kingsguard, Your Grace.
To replace those we lost.
The last one needlessly, some might say.
Oh!
Lord Samuel Blackwood himself is slain.
Good. First blood in our name.
Both sides took heavy losses, Your Grace.
Oh, okay, so both sides.
The Blackwoods and the Brackens have feuded for centuries. This is nothing more than an excuse for them to indulge their ancient grudge. It's no true war.
Whoa.
Call it what you will. I call it war, and so will Dragonstone. The question is, what are we going to do about it? These houses are his vassals, are they not? He must control them.
Tully is a flaccid old fool who couldn't control his cock and curly.
Riverlands are the key to the war. I will ride out with those I can muster here, men I know, men are trained.
you need time to raise the numbers to challenge the Rivermen.
Speed is my ally. I will turn the crown land houses who declared for Rhaenyra to our cause. We will add their numbers to our own and then turn west.
What was Aemond thinking?
And you'll take Aemond and Vhagar.
Vhagar will remain here to defend the city.
Good. To war, then.
Oh, jeez.
He is completely changed.
You'll need a dragon.
My plan is not to draw attention.
And what will you do if you encounter one or more of Rhaenyra's dragons? She'll want to answer for Sir Arya.
We will be more like to encounter one if we field one of our own.
That is precisely why you must remain, brother. It's a brave thought. But we cannot risk your loss.
I'm as fearsome as any of them.
Of course you are.
The guy's about to do the Kermit drink. You can tell already they are seriously missing Otto.
Yeah. Well, and our king has changed so much. It was only one episode before he was handing out gold and food to everybody.
Is he our king?
Well, in this
The
scene he
king,
is.
not our king.
Yeah.
I don't have a green or black choice yet.
What is the life of a queen worth these days?
You wish to be rewarded.
As I would think, you would wish to reward me.
Well,
What
he's
price
hungry.
would you set?
A place at your court.
A place at her court?
You said your earnest desire was to flee Westeros.
And you let me go. You showed me grace when you could have withheld it. Are they always like this?
Sea Smoke, my late lord husband's dragon, has grown restless of late. We cannot know why.
Maybe he's lonely.
I would assume that. He has no master.
I've decided to send Joffrey to Ward with my cousin. She has pledged an army in return for a dragon, so she will have one.
Tyraxes is better hatchling. And Stormcloud.
I want you to go with them. I'm sorry to put this upon you. It breaks my heart to send my boys away, but you have seen what may befall them here. I need you to be the mother to them that I cannot. Teach them, train them, guard them as a dragon guards her eggs.
And my sister?
No pressure.
Yeah.
I need Bailey here.
Because she has a dragon.
I cannot promise to make you happy, but I ask you, make this sacrifice willingly for all of us.
Your Grace.
That didn't seem
Not
too
loving that.
willingly.
Oh, definitely wasn't ready, willing, and able.
Oh. Well, what's he up to?
Oh.
What is that?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know if that's something from season 1 we're supposed to remember.
I mean, it sounds like some low rumbling growling. Is
Yeah, like
there
a
bigger
dragon.
dragon or something he's going after?
Maybe it's vengeance.
Again, folks, we've only seen House of Dragon season 1 the one time through, so that's why we might miss some of the details. Daemon looks pretty freaked out, whatever he's doing. Oh.
Oh, places and ruins. I wonder if he was expecting people here and it's just been demolished.
I'm hoping it's not something we're supposed to remember from season 1, but 'cause they showed the tapestries and everything, and
Oh, jeez.
he didn't put up much of a fight.
Ask questions later, huh?
Halt.
I'm claiming Harrenhal.
Claimed.
What is there to claim?
Oh, that didn't take much.
I, Sir Simon Strong, Castellan of Harrenhal, pledge fealty to Rhaenyra of House Targaryen, first of her name. I swear this by the old gods and the new. That venison is well aged. Shame to let it waste. If you've not yet surmised, you are welcome here.
And what of your lord, Larys Strong? He who sits at the false court of Aegon.
Larys Clubfoot is no lord of mine. He's a scourge upon this castle and this family.
Scourge?
Forgive me, I'd only assumed that as constant.
And we are reminded of the perilousness of assumption.
Indeed. What then brings you to our corner of the Riverlands?
Harrenhal is the largest castle in the Seven Kingdoms. Or perhaps that has escaped your attention.
Well, it is also, not to be argumentative, in something of a state of disrepair, since your forebear incinerated much of it with his dragon.
Well, that is precisely why we must bring it into a state of repair.
Even if we possess the coin, my prince.
He's like, what?
There are 40,000 swords in the Riverlands, the largest undeclared host in the realm.
You should know that a substantial number of those swords have now declared and are presently at war. Houses Bracken and Blackwood have long detested one another.
Why?
Oh, well.
The answer to that is lost in time.
As it usually is.
Summon your Lord Paramount so that I may treat with him myself and turn them to our cause.
That would be Lord Grover Tully, but he grows frail. It's said that he can no longer speak, nor seal his bowels. Begging your pardon for the impression. His grip on his bannerman is weak. They feel they can do as they please.
People should obey their liege lord.
My liege.
Perhaps the presence of the crown and a dragon will sharpen minds round these parts.
Might I ask, Your Grace, if you are successful, well, when you are successful, what then?
We march on King's Landing and take the throne.
The throne?
Isn't it obvious?
It's a big chair made of swords.
Just don't cut yourself on it.
Lord Commander, your host is mustered and ready to march.
He enjoys battle. Smells good.
Did he give himself a haircut?
Yeah, it looks like he did.
Yeah, cut his hair.
Yeah. Doesn't want to be as handsome.
Didn't he? Yeah, no kidding.
So, Criston, may
If
I
that is
present
really
my brother,
you.
Sir Gawain Hightower, arrived last night from Eltown.
Sir Criston, mayhaps I should say, my Lord Hand.
Sir Gawain, welcome to King's Landing.
How exhilarating to arrive at court after 3 long months on the road to find my Lord Father, who served 3 kings faithfully, unseated as Hand of the King.
Ejectocito.
Sir Gawain has volunteered to accompany you into battle.
Oh, this will be great.
Think we can trust him?
And request that she grant her favor, that her Lord Commander may go into battle with her blessings in his heart. Your Grace.
I got a bad feeling about what Cole's marching into.
Oh,
look at that
this.
last scene.
Look at these horses' armor. Oh, that's so badass.
I'm just wondering what Gawain has on his mind.
No dragons.
Good. Then we must seize the hour and act before our enemy does. They have penetrated our castle walls, and now the Riverlands are aflame after the Battle of the Burning Mill. How fares Prince Daemon with our army?
There has been no word from Prince Daemon, Your Grace.
Then we must press what advantage we do have.
And what is that?
Dragons. Send them all out. Start turning green strongholds and burn those who resist.
No.
Ooh.
If dragons begin fighting dragons, we invite our own destruction. Fear of it is in itself a weapon. The Greens will make the same calculation.
Ooh.
You have witnessed firsthand just how vulnerable you are. Prince Daemon is abroad, and Aegon's factions are enraged at the death of his son. You have never been so exposed.
Perhaps it is time for you to think about secreting yourself somewhere safe while we remain here as a source of distraction for the enemy.
Oh, we want to run things.
It would merely be a precaution.
It would be treason. You are fortunate you took it no further.
Didn't they say in Game of Thrones that the dragons got too involved in battles and things went sideways, basically?
They would just go crazy. Help us out.
Rhaenyra's counsel is wayward. She has a hard task. I must hope she will rise to it. But I fear she'll need you by her side sooner than late.
How well is that grinder working? Or that sharpener?
Joffrey. A boy of 6 who knows nothing of the sea, and yet somehow...
It would displease neither Rhaenyra nor the gods. Rhaenyra were named heir to Driftmark.
The girl knows nothing of ships, nor even of dragons.
There is Rhaenyra or there is Joffrey. We are at war, Corlys. If something were to befall you...
Then it is well that I am a good sailor.
Oh, I don't like that either.
Interesting, that shot with the timber between them.
I have much to attend to.
Corlys...
Boy, that council wants Rhaenyra out of there, too.
It is for you to remind Lady Jane of her pledge and persuade her of the urgency of our need. Tyraxes and Stormcloud are young and vulnerable. These eggs are even more fragile.
Oh. 4 of them?
Not so silly of a thing anymore, huh?
Oh.
I feel sad about Jacaerys.
Sadness is a condition of motherhood.
There's naught to be gained from it. I warrant they thought I had no more right to grief than they do.
You have as much claim to grief as anyone.
And you?
I love Jacaerys, but my concern has been more for you and what you have endured. Helena,
I forgive you.
Yep, she's gonna let it all out.
Small imposition before you depart, then, Your Grace.
Could you give us the room?
Rumours whispered in the streets of your city. One such is that Your Grace sends his forces to battle, and in his courage and wisdom flies with them. Another is that his Grace was outwitted by his councillors and persuaded to fly to war with Sir Criston, so the Queen Alicent may reign in his absence, with Prince Aemond at her side.
Look at this guy just stirring up shit.
Love it.
Jesus.
I love it.
Who spreads these lies?
Why I do. Tales take on a life of their own, like weeds, unless they are tended.
Tend to them, then.
This is the key. So greasy.
I love it.
So greasy.
He's never a woman. You're sworn to chastity now.
Of course, Your Grace.
Ooh, he didn't like that.
Yes, Your Grace.
So we've learned the Kingsguard doesn't really take the chastity vow very seriously, do they?
Well, they learned from their boss.
He sure didn't.
Lord Criston.
I'm the son of Balon the Brave, bastard brother to Prince Daemon. Men would take my head for it.
Do we believe this guy?
You do not look very much like King Viserys or Prince Daemon.
How do you know what they look like?
Yeah, he speaks truth right enough. Look, you can tell by his hair.
Yeah, because I'm their half-brother, you wit. The rightful heir to the Iron Throne, my nephew, Prince Lucerys Velaryon.
Oh.
Here's your other nephew.
All hail the king! All hail the king! Drinks for all! At the pleasure of the crown!
Yeah!
Sit down. Sit yourself down. Drink the wine, bro. Come on, man.
Oh, this is the new Kingsguard, or Squire.
It's a little tame, but a good place as any to get it with.
Oh, jeez.
To be my boy.
Whoa,
wow.
really? We're going to get away with that?
Max.
Something like that.
Oh.
Aemond the Fierce! You have come so far, and yet you still lie with your very first. Did you like a hound? Woo! Woo! Woo!
Oh my God.
One oar is as good as another.
Oh, that was awkward.
Wow. Because usually he goes there for comfort too with her.
Yeah.
That's what he did last episode. And I'm sure that's what he was probably doing this one too. And then they had to come in and do that to him.
Oh, she hasn't read it yet.
Sir Gawain! Help!
Our company has camped back yonder.
On the cold, hard ground, which is why we make for the Bull, a tavern with an excellent reputation on the Rosby Road, not 2 miles away, if memory serves.
We march to make the first strike in the name of His Grace.
I assure you, my nephew will not begrudge me a night of comfort.
Oh, he's challenging him.
We will rendezvous with your army at first light.
We're exposed.
What? Cole?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Did she see them?
I think so now.
It does now.
Shiny armor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a cool shot.
I told you guys I was nervous about Sir Cole.
That thing is dive bombing. Holy shit!
Remember, you don't have to be faster than the dragon, just faster than everybody else.
Oh.
Is something gonna give him away?
A good showing, Sir Criston.
You need to change your drawers.
They know we're abroad, they'll be hunting. And we must move under the trees and by cover of dark starting tonight.
And no inns.
Oof. Wow.
With some half-dozen other knights, I'm sure of it. Perhaps a scout party for a greater army.
Ravens confirm it, Your Grace. Lord Farringer's reported a larger force moving northeast towards Rosby.
Just busted him out.
The time for action is surely now.
Your Grace, I must agree.
Cole will look to increase his numbers, and he may call upon a dragon of his own.
You must act now, Your Grace. Loose the dragons, root Cole out, and burn him.
No way she does it. No way. Oh.
I have heard your arguments.
Oh, okay, she nodded there.
And will consider them.
Way she nodded there, I thought she was going to say, go for it.
I thought she was going to say, let's ride.
That would be kind of out of character for her, though, in all honesty. But
I mean, she's trying to keep a cool head.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear.
This is where you're putting me up for the night?
I mean, it's a dragon, right? With all that growling making that noise, what else could it be?
Is he losing it?
That's what I was
yeah,
wondering,
that's what I'm
too.
wondering.
That all of a sudden those footsteps,
none
or
of
the
this
feet were there and then they're gone, but
Yeah.
now what's going on in here?
This doesn't make any sense.
Dream sequence.
Mm.
It's dream sequence.
Always coming and going, aren't you? And I have to clean up afterwards.
Oh!
Definitely a dream.
Oh, man.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, my God.
They can open her eyes. Nope.
Wow.
Oh, are those the trees from Game of Thrones?
I'm not
Help me out, folks. If
You
it
will
is.
die in this place.
That castle is busted up. Something bad.
What do you know of the movements of Alicent Hightower?
Would you take her hostage? Or kill her outright?
I would speak with her.
Killing her would be easier.
I must see her, face to face.
She is the Queen Dowager. She goes nowhere without many eyes watching her, unless... There are fishing boats aplenty in the bay.
So I make my way to the Red Keep, I presume, and ring the bell. Or do I scale the wall and enter at her window?
There is one place Alicent goes, where you may yet find her alone.
Oh boy, this seems sketchy.
Well, the risk has just like cranked up on everybody
that
this
is
episode.
11.
I feel like anybody could be taken out at any minute.
Well, as your show should be.
Yeah.
You with the brand new clothes to make you look dingy.
Could you rub a little dirt on him or something?
That's one way to do it. Okay.
Okay, she's like a nun or whatever. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure
yeah.
how they had that in here.
Well, my just train of thought was that it was, far too clean or something to
Yeah.
be someone like that, but
They gonna recognize her?
not so far.
I mean, they're right though. If you're not coming through with all the bravado and the clothing and everything, you would just blend in.
Wow, she made it.
Holy shit, this is happening.
I like that look of I can't be bothered.
No. I must speak with you. If I could cry out, your knights would find me. I would be taken or slain. Though not before I killed you. Oh, I have begun badly.
I have begun badly.
We knew, even then, that men trained up for battle are eager to fight. I know you do not have that desire within you. Rhaenys has counselled me. She said she saw in you a wish to avert the worst of what may now come.
So you've come to surrender then?
Oh, she's not playing nice, is she?
If you and I may come to terms.
There are no terms now. Your allies turn from you when they hear of your depravity. Your hands are bloody to no crime. I could never have imagined you.
The trespass was not mine. I am a mother too, and you have yet to answer for the murder of my son.
I repudiate that act with all my heart.
Of course you do. I'm usurping my rightful inheritance.
Just both of them staring over there.
I saw the king that night. Mere hours before I left him, he had affirmed my right to the throne. A right he upheld steadfastly every day of his life after my mother died.
Yeah, why would he change it right then, you know?
Yeah.
When was your plan first laid? Was your ambition so cute?
He changed his mind, Rhaenyra. I swear this to you, on the memory of my mother.
You lie.
That's not how it went down.
I pronounced before all gathered in that room that you would make a fine queen. Do you think me capable of such naked deceit?
On this show?
Yeah. That kind of runs rampant on this whole show. Deceit.
What did he say at the end? Did he speak my name?
He was weary. It was hard at times to understand, but he spoke Aegon's name. He said he was the prince that was promised to unite the realm.
What?
I desire peace as you do, but to possess...
Did my father use those words? The prince that was promised?
Oh.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
He spoke to you of the Song of Ice and Fire?
Oh, shit.
Oh, I got goosebumps on that one.
It's a story he once told about Aegon the Conqueror.
The Conqueror.
Gotcha!
You must go before you are discovered.
There's been a mistake.
There's been no mistake.
Please, do not let your pride blind you.
There's been no mistake. The father has gone from court. Collett is on the march, Aemond. It's too late, Rhaenyra.
Alice.
Oh my God! Now even she knows the truth, and
she knows,
but
the
it's
truth.
too late.
Yep.
Holy. And Alicent finally knows Aegon the Conqueror.
So now she really knows.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's no question. Now she really...
Oh, that was the end of it.
Wow.
Episode. I've got so many questions for you folks out there. So many.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow.
So
that was a good one.
First things first. What I need a count of dragons. I need to know how many we have that Rhaenyra would entrust sending 4 eggs out for safekeeping in case everything goes wrong. Now that makes sense, but and they're talking about, they're sending the 2 as a gift, and I really feel like I need a count of just how many dragons we're dealing with, because in Game of Thrones all they had was those 3. And, and that was it. That was, they guarded that with their life. Everybody did. So that's something that I need. Also, the castle that Daemon went to, I know they explained where it was and what all that went down, but I need to know if that's some kind of callback maybe from either the first season of House of the Dragon or from Game of Thrones. Because like I said, I only saw Game of Thrones all the way through one time, and then Oak and I only did House of the Dragon on the channel just the one time through, and I haven't watched it since. So if I'm a little rusty in some spots, please forgive. Anyways, you guys have been great in the comments on that, but looking for some info on that. Now, the other thing that I don't know if it just like hit me like a bolt of lightning or something, but when Daemon was out there in that courtyard and that tree, I swear I thought that was some kind of callback to either Game of Thrones or the first season of House of Dragon with those trees, because I remember Alicent and Rhaenyra, I thought, being by a tree when they were younger in the first season, but then I remember in Game of Thrones they would go to the trees, and I thought there was some trippy thing that would happen. I don't know if you remember or not, Oak, but
that'd be all.
Anyways, again, another question for you folks to help me out with. You're probably going to be busy in the comments, but what an episode! War is happening, whether we want it or not. Alicent and Rhaenyra, I thought for a second that, well, they faked me out twice. I thought that Rhaenyra was going to agree to terms to just go totally scorched earth with the dragons, the way she nodded there at first in the council, but then said she needed to consider it, which makes sense because that would have been completely out of character for Rhaenyra to just take all the gloves off and say, all right, we're sending all the dragons out full scorched earth. But the conversation between Alicent and Rhaenyra was really crazy. One, I couldn't believe it happened.
Yeah.
Two,
same.
Alicent basically called her bluff, said, you talked about, you don't have an army, and this is happening whether you want to or not. We're all kind of at the mercy of things that are already in motion. So what an absolute banger of an episode. We saw some things I didn't think we'd ever see on HBO, if I'm totally honest. And they didn't even have a warning for it beforehand. That certainly was not coarse language.
Oh, yeah, that was
HBO.
it. That was the only one we got.
A little bit of extra partying that I don't think I've ever seen on any.
I'm thinking that's going to be a first. So it would be unfortunate if the internet goes crazy over that and misses, I think, the greater point of the show. You never know how some of that stuff catches fire in today's age. But anyways, I'm sure it'll be discussed a little bit. But another crazy episode of House of the Dragon, and things are picking up. We're really getting close to that point where, like I said, I thought anybody could be gone at any point. I thought the way that Alicent handed Cole the handkerchief, I was just waiting for the scene at the end where he's all bloody laying in a field
and he uses the handkerchief.
And he's pulling out the handkerchief, and you just see it covered in blood, and somebody recovers it
and
gives it back to Alicent. I swear that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, writer of the novel of House of the Dragon. Take notes.
Well, I'm just saying that's the feeling that they're putting in, is that anybody can be taken out, and I mean that's usually kind of a farewell thing. It would seem to me. And then
the old swerve.
Just everybody's in danger, it seems, in this show. That the king was going to ride out, but then I think he's thinking better of it instead to go have a night of party. And so who knows what we're in for the rest of the season.
Yeah, the big thing to me was that meeting at the end. I thought like they were going to see each other or something, and then that was going to be like the end of the episode, going into next week. But no, they actually had a conversation where like she's trying to tell her like, your father said this, that it was going to be, Aegon the whole time. He was going to be, and then finally, like, she's like, no, you lied. Because he did. He vehemently said that she was going to be queen. She was going to be queen. She was going to be queen. Till all of a sudden on his bed, at the end there would go, yeah, I was thinking about it. I think, Aegon, that's proved nothing to me so far. I think he'll make a fine king right now. So that was great that they had the conversation.
The prince who was promised.
Yep. And then finally she found out about the story of Aegon the Conqueror, and boom, all of a sudden her will. And then, but obviously
his face.
Yeah, Song of Fire and Ice. We all know where that leads. He doesn't, but
I don't. And Magic the Gathering? No, I'm so no. And then what's great then too, after that though, and she was honest. Alicent's like, it's too late.
Yep.
It is too late. Everything's been set in motion. She can't exactly go running into council now going, oh, wait a minute.
I may have made a
frowny
mistake.
face. I may have said some things that weren't exactly how you say correct. So she is absolutely right in saying, well, it's too late. Everything is got in. And then I want to know a little bit more about I wrote his name down. Where did I write it down? Balon, the Brave. I want to know more about him being the half brother and uncle to the the king, and he's talking about his nephew, the true rightful heir, and stuff like that. So I want to hear more about his story. Like, I was wondering if he was going to go and talk to Aegon at all when he came walking in. But instead he was like, "Oh, hail the king!" Like, that's all he did. He
wanted to blend in.
So yeah, he just wanted to hang in the back. So that was great. I was sad to not see any of Otto Hightower in this one. Well, sorry.
We're so used to seeing
Ifans, Instead, we had Lord Larys,
Lord Larys, the
come in
schemer.
and say a few
That's his
things.
favorite guy.
And then he's like, "We gotta, shy away from the whisperers." So then that was kind of huge. I was like, "But maybe I want them." And it's like, I don't know if you truly want the whisperers, because at any point, well, granted, that's with anybody in the show that we know, they can give you a false information, and boom, that could be the end of you. I mean, Quinn is 100% correct on, anyone can go at any time. Like, obviously, I haven't watched the original, Game of Thrones, but first season, anybody can go at any time.
Yeah, you don't know who you're going to lose.
I haven't watched it, but just, hearing things, that's what, you never know when someone's going to be just gone. So that's exactly what they're setting up here. So when you see something like that with Sir Criston, you don't know if that's the end of him or what. I mean, because especially when the dragon, she saw, the little tiny glare and just beam down. Like, I thought they were done. But this was a really good episode, and that ending was amazing, because, like, where do you go from here now? Like, Rhaenyra obviously knows she should be the queen and everything, but you can't do anything about it. Knows a small war. And then even Daemon, even on the land that he claimed, and he had the flashback to younger Rhaenyra with the child. So this was a good one.
That's where I wonder if it was the tree that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that can maybe.
Can we give a big shout out to Matthew Needham, the actor who plays Lord Larys?
He does a
Clubfoot. I mean,
does a good job.
Here's what we need you to do. We need to have you portray the greasiest, slimiest character in the history of television, but you got to sell it to people. And Matthew just, you know what? I got this. And
I got it covered.
I mean, was it Littlefinger, something finger in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I think
you were like, oh, this guy, he's worse. This guy, Lord Larys, is worse. So I just want to recognize that. I mean, sometimes the characters that you dislike the most, you wonder, like, what that takes to act out that character. Sometimes it might be enjoyable, sometimes it might be a new challenge for them, but he's absolutely killing it. Obviously we had some incredibly serious interactions throughout this episode. Of course, the big one at the end between Alicent and Rhaenyra. But I gotta be honest, guys, I think there's gonna be some stuff developing between Aegon and Aemond. And I think that is what's going to really flip things on its side. Look, they showed, him in the council, kind of, this, this. But the fact that, he caught his brother in that situation, which they made it very clear in the last episode that there was a very a vulnerable situation for him to be in. And we found him again, not wearing anything, essentially, in a fetal position, a very vulnerable position. With I forget her name, and the brother, instead of open up the curtain and being like, oh shit, sorry, my bad, or leaving, or even just giving him a hard time, he really went at him hard. And you could tell he it put him in a position where he either had to defend her, and given her profession, he didn't want to seem like he was defending her, but obviously there's a very close connection that he has with her. He put him in that situation where Aemond then had to stand up and be like, no, it's all good. I really think later on in this season, and please, if you've read the books, no spoilers, just nod your head or shake or whatever. I really think something is going to happen between Aemond and Aegon, because I feel like, and I don't know if it's going to be an Aemond thing, wanting power, or just just not having that respect for the brother, but I think the tension is building there. I can't believe Rhaenyra actually made it all the way there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, because it's concerning, right? Like, if that's all it took is for somebody to dress up as a nun to be able to get that close to Alicent, again, look, security. Alicent's security detail
needs some help.
Isn't exactly the best.
Because when they showed her in the nun outfit, I thought that was her just leaving her castle, and then all of a sudden she was there.
So I didn't know it was you're like, okay. I thought it was interesting that her face was showing right away. I'm like, okay, granted she's got her hair covered up. It's a very unassuming outfit. And I'm like, oh, and then it makes more sense a nun, because then people really wouldn't look twice.
But yeah, it's not like the internet today. Look at even today, people get mistaken for celebrities, and their faces are everywhere.
Or vice versa.
So you have here where it's the complete opposite.
Somebody dressed down, right?
So I'm glad they made a point of that, saying, "Well, you're not out in your pageantry."
It was so interesting, because their attitudes towards everything, and I think they're really painting Alicent to be a not good person here. We saw earlier on in the season how both of them handled their grieving children, and Rhaenyra, embraced her son. Alicent kind of just bailed. We see now Rhaenyra very much wants to avoid war for a number of reasons. Now, make no mistake, Rhaenyra wants her throne, okay? But she wants to avoid war. She wants to avoid the loss of life. Alicent, I think, wants to avoid Sir Criston going to battle and her son going to battle, but it just doesn't seem like, I don't know, she seems like she's not a very good person. And it made it very clear, and she understands now that she made a mistake. As Answer brought up, was she going to go into the council? So I may have misspoke. He was referring to something I was unaware of.
He was telling me a story.
Should have, and that's what she really did. She didn't go to everybody and said, okay, and maybe we could have had people ask, what did he say exactly? And she's like, well, he wants Aegon to be prince. Okay, but what exactly did he say? What were his exact words? Oh, well, he said the prince that was promised. They would have known right there. Everybody, I mean, not everybody, but maybe a handful of people would have known. Hightower,
well, yeah, especially the story.
Oh, hey, this isn't what we were referring to. And but yeah, Alicent isn't going to back up. And even if she did at this point, what's done is done.
Yeah, all the under.
Rhaenyra lost a son. Aemond lost a son. I mean, or Aegon. Aemond lost an eye, and that's what we saw Princess Rhaenys talking about earlier. Is like, you're gonna forget what even started this. That so much stuff has happened. So again,
that was just like the two guys that were fighting in the field. They brought up. They said they've been fighting for centuries. Why? They don't even remember.
You don't even know what you're fighting over. One line that I thought was really interesting that we got, and kind of the one note that I made, and I normally don't make a lot of notes for these. Men trained up for battle are eager to fight. And when you train somebody to fight, and you're on the cusp of that, it's hard. There is that eagerness. And look, this is a very, very loose connection. I did some martial arts and some fighting for a few years in my late teens and early 20s, and obviously it's very different because my life was never really on the line. But and anybody who's
when you say fighting, you mean tournaments, just so
tournament
they know.
Yeah.
Not going down the streets doing roads of rage.
But I'm imagining it's the same thing for like MMA fighters, boxers. When you train and you train and you train and you train, you're eager to fight. You're eager to compete. Again, they're not risking their lives like this. You're not on the other end of a sword. But it's a very interesting point that you have all these guys always ready for battle, always ready for battle. They even talk about our dragons.
Yeah.
So, Rhaenyra said
they're restless.
The dragons are restless. So just so much tension building, and we're only, do we have 8 episodes here or 10?
8.
We know 8.
Yeah.
We're 3 episodes in, a ton of tension building. And I know I had some thoughts about the writing at the end of the first episode, which you guys, as Mason Quinn said, everybody in the comments has been phenomenal, helping educate us, but not giving away spoilers. There was some misunderstanding on my part, but I'm going to go back to saying now that the writing has been just top notch in this story, and it just draws you in, and it's so cool to be able to see a spinoff pull you in the way the original did. Because look, Game of Thrones, I saw somebody post on social media this week, and you guys have probably seen this, right? Somebody posted, I'm in the 1%, and it's a friend of mine, I shouldn't dog him too much. It's like, I'm in the 1% of people who's never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. And I'm like, dude, it's like saying you're like the 1% of people who've never eaten Oreos or listened to Bon Jovi. I'm like, that doesn't make it like cool. It just means
glad he's ripping on me right in front of my face. I'm part of that 1%.
But you don't brag about it.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm part of the 1%. Look, if you haven't,
I better
fine.
quickly
But
delete
I'm like,
those tweets.
You're bragging about but this, and it's like with this show, it's like to have another show that just draws you in like the original Game of Thrones did. It's so exciting, not just as a reactor, but just as somebody, obviously, look, for us reacting, we hope, like we want, this is what we do.
Yeah, we want it to be good.
Yeah. But just as a fan of this genre, a fan of just, amazing writing, this is so exciting for me. And, God, did you see Mason Quinn and I sit through an entire season of Rings of Power? We did it together.
It took both of us.
We did it together, and here we are back in the House of the Dragon. Incredible writing. And
maybe I'll join him for season 2.
We say this all the time, but it's like this is an hour, and it just like that. Brilliant.
This was
absolutely brilliant.
This was a great episode. Real quick shout out to is it Millie Alcock for reprising her role as the younger Queen Rhaenyra. So that was pretty cool to have for that flashback.
An awkward scene, but hey, welcome back.
Yeah, like, hey, we need you to come back for one scene. Sure, what is it? Well,
you're gonna be doing some sewing.
It's gonna be fun. Do you know how to sew? So once again, thank you for joining us on this week's House of the Dragon. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm of course the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.